personnel meeting for July to order. First order of business is we'll go to item C, the approval of the previous minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Bollier, seconded by Mr. Cusimano. Any questions, additions, deletions, corrections needed for the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item D, general business administration. New hires, resignations, and retirements. Give me a second to pull it up. So we have resignations. Jennifer Gallant, paraeducator. Lorna Mullen, paraeducator. Lori Berg, paraeducator. Shannon Hinton, special education teacher. Nicole Maglio Provost, paraeducator, and Kenneth Chadwick, custodian, second shift, part-time. Entertain a motion to accept the resignations.
Motion to accept. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Bollier, seconded by Mr. Downs. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Nominations, we have Elizabeth Kelleher, graphic design teacher, Spalding High School ROTC. Blake Barbins, health teacher. Melissa Brown, math teacher, Spalding High School. Kimberly Orr, special education teacher, BCA. Dina Hanley, preschool teacher, East Rochester. Travis Crudson, math teacher, Spalding. Nicholas Roy, French teacher, Maple Street Magnet and the middle school. Theodore Blackie, custodian, second shift. Lori Kimball, paraeducator, 27 and a half hours at McClellan. Devin Robbins, paraeducator, William Allen, and Lila Bailey, paraeducator at Chamberlain.
Motion. Second.
Motion made by Mr. Cusimano, seconded by Mr. Downs. Any discussion on the following nominations? Seeing none, signify with an aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. ESY nominations, we'll just go as listed.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Bollier, seconded by Mr. Cusimano. Any discussion? Seeing none, signify with an aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. And we have no retirements, right? That's all. That's what we have. All right. Move on to item Roman numeral 2. To consider and approve a revision to the Director of Finance job description. And Annie, if you want to.
So the requirement of 5 years experience in an educational setting is really becoming a barrier for us. It's preventing us from considering other candidates with extensive experience, but just without the educational experience. I would seek approval on removing that, just the part where it says that it's required to be in an educational setting. And then the other piece also is, and you'll learn on July 11th, Brian Allen will come to do his SWOT analysis during the board meeting, and you also have a copy of it. But in his report, he does indicate that our projected salary for a director of finance is below our peer districts. And although the average salary of our peer district is a bit over $127K, I'm actually seeking approval to get us to $130 because of the demand for this particular position. The district needs a very strong financial director that can maintain the financial health of the district, facilitate effective resource allocation, ensure effective budgeting and forecasting, and arguably and most importantly, really identify and mitigate financial risks that we may face. And so I'm actually proposing that we go to 130. Doesn't mean we're going to get someone at 130, but it will give us the flexibility of finding a really strong director of finance. It's currently slated for up to 125.
Any discussion, Mrs. Keyes?
Yeah, I'm just curious, how difficult is it to get the educational certification?
It's not, they actually removed it. So they removed the New Hampshire Business Administrator certification. It's at a lot of our CFOs or financial directors are really in the private sector, and they don't have educational setting experience.
Mr. Guzman, do you have your hand up? Or?
No, sir.
Okay. So, sorry.
So you're looking for us to move from 125 to 130?
Yeah.
Well,
And to remove the,
we have two
And
amendments
remove
to
the,
the job description to be
Yeah.
brought forward. Right.
I'll make a motion for those changes to the job description as along with salary.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Downs, seconded by Mr. Cusimano to remove the minimum of 5 years' experience working in a similar position, or is that the new language? Similar position,
exactly, in a related field, yeah,
okay.
or industry.
So adding that, and then increasing the salary top to $130,000 per year. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay. Roman numeral 3, title change, Director of Student Services. Superintendent Arizola.
Sure. So our current district coordinator of special education oversees special education, multilingual education or English language learner education, and our students in 504 plans. And I know we have several members that are new to the school board. 504 students are managed by general education teachers as opposed to special education teachers when we talk about students on special education plans. So students on 504 are not required to have specially designed instruction. They're a little bit different, but they both have legal protections and have individual plans. This position oversees all three, and therefore the title really should change to reflect the work that the position facilitates. The Director of Student Services is a common title for a lot of school districts that have minimum multilingual learners, and so what they do is they just combine the three services under one, which would be the Director of Student Services. The Director title also aligns with the infrastructure that we're creating to instill consistency and clarity among all of the job functions. There is no additional salary being requested, and there are no additional certifications required for this title change.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Cusimano, seconded by Mr. Downs. Any discussion? Sarah?
Thank you. We used to have the Director of Student Services title prior to Ms. Wu taking the position. There was a reason why we had to change the title. Is that reason no longer a factor?
Thank you for that question. Her title before was Director of Special Education. You do need a certification for Director of Special Education, but not for Director of Student Services.
Got it, okay. Thank you.
Any further questions or discussion? All right. Motion on the floor and seconded is to change the title of the job or the position. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor signify with an aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item 4, Special Education Coordinator Job Description. Superintendent,
Sure.
please.
So there are special education coordinators and there are IEP facilitators performing the exact same job in the district. There are also no job descriptions for either, although they've existed for multiple years in the district. So therefore, what we did was we created a job description that aligns with the work that they facilitate. And they all have the same, so that way they all have the same title because they are facilitating the same work, same responsibilities, again, to instill consistency and clarity among the roles. Again, no additional salary being requested, and this does not necessitate additional licensure for those currently in the position.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Cusimano, seconded by Mr. Downs. Discussion. All right. Seeing none, entertain the motion, excuse me. All those in favor of the motion signify with an aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item 5, BCBA job description.
Yes. And Mr. Chair, if I may take
Yep.
these two next ones together because they're for the same reason.
Okay,
So these are common positions in school districts that provide services to our students with disabilities. And we are mandated to have these positions for that reason. They're on their IEPs. I've learned that we have never brought forward these job descriptions before the board. Instead, what we're doing is we're contracting out these positions through agencies, and it's costing the district over twice as much to fund each position. So therefore, what I'm proposing is that we bring them in-house in an effort to retain our own talent, and it would also provide us a significant cost savings. Just to be clear, if they were to be approved, we would not hire the BCBA or registered behavior technician unless we can replace the existing ones under the contracted agencies.
Mr. Cusmano,
And these salaries are correct with analysts, basically analyzing the area.
Correct.
So we wouldn't have a problem if we posted this job and the contracts were up to get somebody based off of these salaries.
Yes, and just to be clear, I would not remove the current BCBA because we're mandated to have these services performed until we hire a BCBA. That could replace that position.
so Mr. Bellis,
This is not a position that's covered by the collective bargaining agreement that the teachers
It is
work
not.
under?
and how many in the district would we be having? Just one?
Right now, 5 are contracted out.
5 are contracted out?
BCBAs. And 10 registered behavior technicians.
Okay, so we'd be looking to replace 5, not a position, it's 5 positions.
5 positions, right? And
Yep.
then also 10 registered behavior technicians.
All right, so we're talking,
Right now, the contract is almost $1 million for those positions.
okay, so we're talking 15 positions that we're trying to fill. If we only filled 5, we'd still contract out
Exactly.
whatever
However,
we
we
need.
would still save if we contracted 5, we would still have a significant cost savings.
Any other discussion? We have a motion on the floor to, and just to be clear, the accept the behavior technician and the job description, correct?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Downs, seconded by Mr. Cusumano. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. So that took care of items 5 and 6, Roman numerals 5 and 6. Item 7, position control accountant job description.
So again, on July 11th, Brian Allen will present his SWOT analysis, and in his report, he's going to name a potential threat, right, which is just a lack of position control. And so currently, we don't have anyone who confirms and verifies, for example, a position has been approved by the school board, that there is money allocated for that position. Where is it coming from, right? The direct line that from the funding source for the position. This then allows for monthly projections for unfilled positions, so that we can come back every month and say, well, these variety of positions have been unfilled. We have this bucket of money that we can utilize or reallocate to any immediate needs that we have, rather than waiting until the end of the year and having a funding balance. So we can attribute it to, we can use it for modernizing our facilities, or again, for any immediate need that we have at that moment. Position control accounting would also reconcile all of our schools' activity accounts on a monthly basis, something that is not currently being done, which poses another potential liability to the district. And just to be clear, Mr. Allen will speak to this position next week, so I'm just seeking approval from the Personnel Committee, and of course, this has to go to the full board anyways.
Any questions?
Motion to accept.
Motion by Mr. Bollier,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Downs. Mr. Cusumano.
And the cost is just the salary to the district, or are you just taking from another position?
I'm not from another position, we're actually taking from, there are a few,
So it's neutral cost, basically?
it is a neutral cost, yes,
That's all
yes.
Okay, sorry.
So what was the last, neutral?
Yes, cost neutral.
And what are we replacing?
So we currently have we contract with agencies, one of which we've been contracting for the last 14 years, that we're minimizing and we're increasing those contracts. So we're gonna use those funds to transfer to this position.
And again, this is non-union, and
Correct.
salary of 85 to 95 plus benefits. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify with aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item, we have to 8, truancy officer, superintendent.
My understanding is that this position existed, and actually it's in a New Hampshire school district, it's mandated, we're mandated to have this position. The position was eliminated, and I'm not certain when it was eliminated. The position monitors and tracks attendance, it investigates and assesses reasons for truancy, implements in collaboration with another person, the intervention and support, again, it's about early intervention and prevention, enforces truancy laws and policies, and mediates and facilitates communication between scholars, families, and schools. Therefore, we recommend that this position be reinstated, and we propose using dual settlement funds. So many of you may know that we have $4 million earmarked for the school department dual settlement funds, and so we would utilize this, and this can actually be funded for 5+ years using those funds.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the truancy officer job description.
Motion, is there a second? Mr. Bellows. Motion made by Mr. Bullier, seconded by Mr. Bellows. Any further discussion? Mr. Downs.
So this will take care of, because I know at our construction committee meeting, I know it was hard on about hearing about all the attendance issues and parents not being held accountable, so this is the last piece of the puzzle, so we can start holding parents accountable legally if not getting their kids in school.
Yeah, and this is really reactionary, right? So the truancy officer is just reacting to the chronic absenteeism. The next position I'm going to propose, also using dual, is talks about the prevention and early intervention to avoid that.
Any further discussion, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to accept the truancy officer position signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item 9, Positive Youth Development Director. Go ahead, Annie.
Sure, this position is being recommended for approval for the following reasons. But we talk about the truancy officer, student is chronically absent, and what do we do once it's already happening? This position is actually about early intervention and prevention. So it focuses on fostering the overall development of youth beyond academics. The director plays a vital role in creating a positive and inclusive school culture, works on building strong relationships with students, families, staff, fostering that sense of belonging, which is one of our priority areas in our strategic plan, and also safety around violence, drugs, and other risk behaviors. So the director would collect, analyze data related to student well-being, behavior, and academic performance to inform decision-making around targeted interventions for our at-risk youth, again, to prevent them from being chronically absent. This also entails a homeschool partnership. We want to make sure that we're authentically engaging with our families. Again, this would be entirely funded through the dual settlement as it meets the criteria, and this could be funded, again, for 5+ years. And that is all I have for this particular. And so this position would also work very collaboratively with the truancy officer.
And just to be clear, it's one position, they're gonna travel the district and how would I guess they're gonna monitor for, the administration of each school would report their numbers as far as high-risk students? if you
Right, so
will,
we
or-
can use our own Infinite Campus to get that data, right?
Okay.
We can run reports from our dashboard, but it's also working with principals on exactly that, creating a culture and climate team, how do we, provide supports to kiddos to make sure that we're in that proactive space rather than reactionary.
Any, entertain entertain a motion to accept.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Cusimano, seconded by Mr. Down. Any further discussion? Mrs. Herring?
So these two positions are going to be additional reports to our assistant superintendent. Is she good with that, with the positive youth development director and truancy officer reporting to her?
Yeah, she actually helped me write both of those job descriptions.
Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, and, all those in favor of the motion to accept the positive youth development director signify with aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item 10 is the assistant director to student services.
This position, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, this
You're, keep the floor going. Keep it
This
going.
position was already approved by the school board, we are simply bringing forward the job description, and it's already in the budget.
So it's nothing.
It's not,
Okay.
yeah, it's just the
I'll
job
motion.
description.
It's just,
We don't need a motion.
no,
It's already.
Okay, sorry.
Well, I do need approval.
we need approval of the job description.
Yeah.
So motion.
Motion by Mr. Cusimano, seconded by Mr. Bellows to approve the job description of the Assistant Director to Student Services. Any discussion, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Agenda item E, other. Do we have any
I
other?
do.
Oh,
Oh, no, never mind, I don't have it.
no other? Anyone else with another? Seeing none. Item F, public comment.
I honestly don't know if I can say anything. My name is Robin LaRoche,
Okay.
and I actually live in Barrington, but I was the truant officer and court liaison for the Rochester School District.
Okay.
And so I just basically came in to see what the job descriptions are going to be. My personal opinion is, I think the court liaison position needs to go back in. I can tell you that when I was here prior, the court position, I was carrying 138 court-involved students on my caseload. I did, prior to that, was both the truant officer and the court liaison at the same time, and that job cannot be done effectively when you're doing more than one task, because that court position is a significant undertaking.
And, I'm sorry, could you just for the record state your name and you, again,
Robin LaRoche,
LaRoche?
yes,
Okay. And you're Barrington resident, but you,
yes. But I have like a total of 26 years in the district, she knows who I am. So I was just curious as to whether or not that co-position was going to be in the budget. Because even though you're talking about doing the 193.1, nobody's talked about the filing of truancy petitions when kids are out of school, and it's not the parent. If the parent has done every single thing that they need to do, then you really can't take them to court under the 193.1, but you have other avenues of a truancy petition based directly on that student.
all right,
Thank you.
thank you. So with that, I will close public comment. We don't have any general items taken in non-public.
Yeah, we do, me too.
We do? Oh, we do have a non-public, okay.
It'll be quick though.
All right. So I just would like to address, I guess the question is, we have the Leah, or what's our
LADAC?
LADAC with the police department that takes a lot of cases? Would they handle truancy as well?
So if I read this correctly, Chair, under the positive youth development director job description, they are also supposed to be assisting the truancy officer, doing court stuff. There was a whole list. It almost mirrored, but then there was more responsibilities.
Because because they have to work collaboratively.
Yeah, draw laws, budgets, school suspensions. So it was almost two people. Like I said, the director of positive youth development was assisting the truancy officer with its caseload, plus had other responsibilities. If I read that correctly.
That is right.
All right, so we have a non-public. Do we have an RSA that we're going under?
Oh, yes.
I know it's 91A.
91A32A.
Entertain a motion to enter into non-public under RSA 91A 32A.
93A32A.
What she said.
Second. Did you make the motion?
I'll make a motion, yeah,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Bellows, all, roll call, please.
Member Mary?
Oh, I was thinking.
All right, we'll bring personnel back into the public session.
I'm gonna make the motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for the federal grants manager.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Down, seconded by Mr. Cusimano to accept the superintendent's recommendations pertaining to the federal grants manager. Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item H, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Bollier, seconded by all. We are adjourned.